Hello, welcome back to WhatCulture Gaming. My name is Rach. Hope you're all having a fantastic day because the characters in this list certainly aren't. Death is a major theme in video games and it appears in many guises across our favourite titles. But much like a good movie twist, the best ones in video games are ones that you totally didn't even see coming. Some of these video game characters were dead the whole time, and some passed stealthily into the afterlife right under our noses. So it's time for their eulogies. Now, most are just theories, and they may have not been officially verified by the creators, but let's all take a look at the signs and decide for ourselves if the death certificate is real. So put on a nice suit, pull up a pew, take a seat as we celebrate the lives of 7 video game characters that secretly died. 7. ROBO, Chrono Trigger. Who doesn't love a scrappy robot sidekick? They tend to offer a different skill set from the rest of our characters, often venturing on a lovely journey of self-exploration, trying to find a brain or something equally sentimental. Robo is the most versatile character in Chrono Trigger, and this makes him an incredibly valuable battle ally, so it's only natural that we use him a lot, developing a close bond with the character. This makes it so much harder to accept that Robo dies after the game's conclusion. Robo volunteers to help Balthazar save time in 2300 AD, and we next see him as the Prometheus circuit in Chrono Cross, by which point the Robo we knew and loved and shared s'mores with is long gone. Writer Masato Kato talked about Robo/Prometheus as the death of such a much-loved friend, effectively confirming that our chromed-out companion is no more. 6. Mercy, Overwatch. One of the most engaging aspects of Overwatch is the development of its characters, which takes place over 2 generations. Mercy is the healer of choice for many, including your humble presenter here, and she flies around the battlefield giving aid to adventurers wearing an angelic suit, perhaps a not so subtle way of implying that she is in fact a seraph herself. We know that her old teammates Anna and Reinhardt have aged significantly, but Mercy doesn't look a day over 30. Defense hero Mei has a voice line,
Dr. Ziegler, I don't think you've aged a day since I last saw you.
Rather interesting, right? She also has a no pulse emote, which speaks for itself, really. Maybe Angela Ziegler's agelessness is merely down to a killer skincare routine, but some things just seem a little too convenient. 5. CHELL, Portal 2. CHELL doesn't actually meet the seemingly peaceful end that's portrayed in the final scene of Portal 2. After escaping the Aperture Science facility that's tormented our protagonist for 2 whole games, we climb a long elevator and emerge out of a bunker in a wheat field. The symbology is what has convinced many that this is in fact a motif for CHELL's death. In Greek mythology, the afterlife is painted as a cornfield or the Elysian Fields, where you will be reunited with loved ones. Field of wheat? Check. Loved companion? Check, check. As for how CHELL died, I don't know, how about that time that you literally summoned a portal to the actual moon just on the floor in front of you there? Yeah, a bit dangerous that. Or the numerous times that you were shot to bits by sentry turrets. Yeah. Sadly, it does seem entirely plausible that CHELL met her end inside of Aperture Science laboratories. 4. Link, Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Link is one of my favourite video game characters of all time, with Majora's Mask being, in my opinion, the best in the series. However, much to my annoyance, when you think about it, Link dies in Majora's Mask. The game takes place on Termina, wait, as in terminal? Where Link attempts to save the land from an encroaching moon that crawls closer each day. At the start, Link encounters Skull Kid in the Lost Woods, is knocked off his horse Epona, and it is here that Zelda's Knight meets his end. The 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, all of which can be interpreted in the 5 different towns and locations around Termina. Doubters argue that Termina is a parallel universe which doesn't have any lasting effect on the series, but in this particular Zelda timeline, things aren't looking too hopeful. 3. The Nameless Boy, Limbo. Death is an integral part of Limbo, given that it's literally named after Purgatory. The most common conclusion of the game suggests the boy begins in a forest on the edge of hell, but is working his way through to prove his place in heaven. It's only when he reaches his sister at the end that he seems to move on, but his brief triumph is very quickly silenced as the entire game begins all over again. One theory suggests that it is the sister who has died, but it was the boy who was responsible. His journey through wilderness, cities, spiders and seas is all supposed to be a representation of his fears and guilt, being forced to relive his great shame over and over. Limbo can make you feel many things. Hell, I had a good wee cry when I finished it, but this is without a doubt the saddest outcome to imagine. 2. Nathan Drake, Uncharted 4. Nathan Drake is funny, kind-hearted, and has that impossible year-round 5 o'clock shadow that I'm sure makes Josh Brown narrow his eyes with jealousy. The title, A Thief's End, perhaps hinted at this all along, but it is suggested that everything ends less than hunky-dory. Drake is on the verge of losing his wife, has just seen his brother shot in the back, and to top it all off, he's sent hurtling off a cliff, suffering a mighty bump on the head. He's nursed back to health by Elena, who happens to have just completely forgiven him for lying to her, not to mention she just happens to find him, in the middle of the jungle when he told no one where he was going. This is because this, and the rest of the game, is the afterlife. Nate died in that fall. Perhaps this was Naughty Dog's secret way of stamping a story-driven conclusion on Drake's now rather heartbreaking tale. 1. BJ Blazkowicz, Wolfenstein 2. Perhaps the most kick-ass of all deaths to feature William Joseph Blazkowicz, aka BJ Blazkowicz, aka Terror Billy, went out of this world hated by all Nazi kind, and really there aren't many finer ways to go. A little more than halfway through Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, Blazkowicz is captured, almost freed, captured again, and then nearly freed again before being executed at Washington's Lincoln Memorial in an eerie alternate universe switcheroo. The game continues from that point as Blazkowicz's head is saved and attached to a new host. But an overriding theory among fans is that Wolfenstein's never say die protagonist, died. BJ never made it off the Lincoln Memorial, and either his head was lost to the flames below, or the Kreisau Circle never actually managed to keep it alive long enough to take it to a new body. Either way, look to the scene of BJ lying next to his partner Anya after getting his new body, as a notably dreamlike sequence where he struggles to see her face. There we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like. You want to see more lists? Go ahead and subscribe. We'll bring you them every single day. If you want to see something right now and you enjoyed my dulcet Scottish tones, check out this here. I've written a nice little love letter to one of my favourite games, Dark Souls, and all about how it makes you a better person. Or perhaps you want a more typically traditional list. How about this one? I quite like this one. 10 games that kill you within the first 10 seconds. Enjoy, guys. We love you lots. Thank you for watching once again. My name has been Rach. We will see you next time.